Okay, let's continue our talk on Stoicism, and we were going through the Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and we had ended up in the fourth book, and I think that today I would like to talk to you about, let me see here, section number 40. Think always of the universe as one living creature, comprising one substance and one soul. How all is absorbed into this one consciousness, how a single impulse governs all its actions, how all things collaborate in all that happens, the very web and mesh of it all. There's a couple of things to talk about here. First of all, Stoic physics. Stoic physics comprise many things, which includes the Stoic view of the universe. And Stoics, we have talked about this before, but just a very quick recap. Stoics believed that the universe is one large living creature with its own rational mind, and that if your rational decisions sort of overlap with the rational decisions of the universe, then you will be happy, and if you go against the universe, that you will not be happy, you will not lead a rich and fulfilling life. A very interesting concept in Stoicism I've always found, even though there is, in modern day, absolutely no scientific evidence for any of this, I find the idea very nice to think about. And that is this, that you, as a person, have a soul, and that soul is actually a shard of the cosmos, of this logos. And the technical term for that is logos spermatikos, literally seminal logos. So in other words, you have a seedling of this giant rational creature that is the cosmos inside you, and that is your soul. And the Stoics said your soul is what allows you to do certain things, to perceive, to talk, to think, to procreate, to move. That is all done by your soul. And your soul is special because it is a small fragment of the universe. Now again, even though that scientifically this day and age we might at the very least raise some objections to this idea, I've always found it a very beautiful idea. Now you could take this very far and say, well, you are stardust, right? The molecules inside you came from exploding stars. This is true. Scientifically this is true. So in a way you are part of that cosmos, and you carry all of that inside you, the matter created in dying stars. And one topic that Marcus Aurelius mentions a lot is that of death, and he often points out that death is not that terrifying because all that happens is you have, of course he didn't use these terms like molecules and such, but you have that part of the universe in you. And being materialists, Stoics believe that everything is matter. That means that your soul is matter as well. Very interesting for ancient philosophers. And so when you pass away, all that happens is that your matter is just returned to the universe. But that is not that strange given modern science. There is so much matter in the universe, and when you die, it's just a matter of becoming not so much different matter, but just a change in your atoms. Over time you will disintegrate, and those atoms are returned back to the universe. I don't think that's a particularly terrifying way to look at death. It's just a process of recycling, as it were. Now, that's not all I wanted to talk about. Very interesting. I'm pretty sure I've talked about that before, the logos spermatikos, and this sort of seminal reason that you get from the universe. But It's so much bigger than that. And when you read this, Marcus Aurelius is clear. Think always of the universe as one living creature, comprising one substance and one soul, how all is absorbed into this one consciousness, how a single impulse governs all its actions, how all things collaborate, in all that happens, the very web and mesh of it all. Well, that would situate you somewhere in the middle of a giant web of a living, rational cosmos. Now, I don't know if there would be a lot of people this day and age who would believe that the entire cosmos is a rational, living creature. But even given modern day assumptions, you can kind of work with this. When you think about it, you are situated in life in a network of other beings, some animals, some plants, a lot of humans. And all those humans have specific needs, have specific desires, have specific wishes, have specific intentions, some good, some bad. But you are amidst all of that. And the trick to life is living your life in such a way that you maximize those goals that you want to attain in life. You attain those goals as well as you can. And of course, if you've watched all these videos, you bear in mind that some things are within and some things are outside of your control, and that worrying about things outside of your control doesn't make a whole lot of sense because they're outside of your control. There's nothing you can do to change them, and worrying certainly won't change them. But I try to look at the universe in that light. There's all kinds of people with specific intentions, with specific goals and desires, and we have to navigate those things. Now, unfortunately, your goals and desires will not always match the goals and desires of other people. But if you try to look at people are all kind of connected because we're all members of the human race, we're all brothers and sisters, sometimes that can give you a somewhat better outlook on what motivates other people. You can still disagree with what those people do. Whether you can control it, that's a different matter. But just the understanding that people are doing certain things, and that that's just the way it is, because they do what they think is best for them, that may not always align with what is best for you, but you are all connected. The cosmos, even if it is not a rational living creature, is a system of immense complexity. And you are part of that. And at some point, you won't be part of that anymore. And if you want to be a hardcore Stoic about this, and I'm not sure how many people saying they are Stoics this day and age would actually believe this, but the idea being, once you pass away, you give back the shard of rational logos to the cosmos. And you cease to be. But the cosmos takes back what was the cosmos all along. Your atoms, your rationality, and that's it. There's not much more to it. And I found that concept of death kind of a comforting one. You just return what was never truly yours. It just was. And this is something that Epictetus writes about as well. We went over that chapter in the Enchiridion. You cannot treat things as if they are yours. At best, you temporarily borrow them. Where your life is borrowed. It's not yours. It just is. And at some point, it is going to be over. And this is it. This is a heavy topic, and this is a topic that I think requires a lot of thought, and this is, I don't want to muddy the waters by getting into two things, but I think these are two very important things. Consider the concept of death, which terrifies a lot of people, and maybe if you think about things this way, it's less terrifying. But also consider the interconnectedness of all beings, all life, every process in the cosmos. And then realize what a very small part you are of all this. And how little your problems truly matter. They matter to you, obviously, as they should. But in the grand scheme of things, the billions of years the cosmos has existed, you are nothing. So, that's not a depressing thought, it's a pleasant thought. You can do those things that you do as well as you can, to leave as good an impression as you can. But at the end of the day, you were born to die. That's all. It's not very scary. It's just a thing. A change. Your atoms change. Everything that was you changes into a different state. No more, no less. Okay. Given that this is a heavy topic, I wanted to say, I don't want to go on about this for too long. This is enough food for thought, I think. I hope this was useful, and I will gladly see you later. Bye-bye.